Okay, here with Nicole Adair, director of our revenue management group. Nicole, in the middle of a pandemic, we're huddled up in our houses. I haven't had time to clean, and your space looks very nice.
So it's all in the camera angle.
Point it up. Let's talk about, so revenue managers have been probably forecasting for several weeks, right? Like, okay, let's forecast what's happening. Like, what should they be doing right now?
So, well, first of all, hopefully drinking a lot of coffee and maybe starting to get some sleep. I think this last week has really kind of been when everything has hit the fan from a forecasting perspective for a lot of the U.S. revenue managers. I would expect that it's going to kind of dial down now from a worst case scenario perspective. I think every reality is setting in. I think everybody's kind of seeing what they need to do as far as forecasting and their immediate expectations for March. April is probably hopefully where we're going to see it bottom out. That's going to be the trough. That's kind of been the trend in looking at data from, APAC and China specifically, Hong Kong, Singapore, all those areas. And it's just been kind of this 2 to 4 week just downward kind of drop, right? So, we're probably going to continue to see it a little bit more, but we should be done with that here in April. And then the question really kind of from this point forward is, what does our country see in the coming weeks as far as, impacts, new cases, just the impact from the coronavirus and what that's going to mean for our lockdown efforts and the impact on travel. What we do know in looking at like some data that STAR released this last Monday is that China has been on a slow but steady upward growth and rebuilding of their occupancy. It looked like to date about growth of about 10% from bottom. And the encouraging part of that is when you look at that week by week, that rebound is getting better. So the increase in occupancy is growing every single week. So that is good news. But for most hoteliers, that really probably means we're looking end of May into June for that kind of recovery.
So there's 8 more weeks of hell, and like I know there's a lot of talk about staycations if your property is appropriate. Like us down here, we've got a client on Galveston Island that's a drive away from a major city like Houston. So is it tactics like that like, I mean, I know that Houston just shut down restaurants and bars, but they are doing deliveries. So if your hotel has a really good restaurant, a coffee shop, maybe you could be delivering, food to the locals. What else?
Yeah. There's potential ancillary revenue streams there for sure. One thing that, and this will be up to the hotels, up to the management companies, the balance, I think, in the immediate future with that staycation messaging is, from a public health perspective and from a public health messaging perspective, where you want to go with what you're encouraging, right, in the immediate future with what the cities and states and potentially the federal government are going to be doing. But you can look, not even really long term, but kind of, 4 to 6 weeks out, assuming we hopefully see a rebound, that will still be the market that's going to come back first. We're seeing this in Hong Kong, where the entirety of their rebound is coming domestically, not internationally. And so that's really going to be the market to go after. You're going to have, all of us work from home, quarantine parents and kids that are probably going to be going stir crazy, that are going to want to get out. People are probably going to be a little hesitant to travel distances, but there is going to be a market, and potentially a different market than you've had in the past, that's going to want to get out and do something and go somewhere here before too long. So really looking at what you can offer to locals. Again, that's, I think, more when the staycation packages are going to come into play. It's not now, it's going to be, in 6 weeks or something like that, where that's really going to be your market.
Yeah, those summer months. Summer months
Right.
are right around the corner, and people are going to be ready to get out of the house.
They are. And one of the things that we've been working with a client of ours on, they are a bit more of like a beach destination resort, but I think everyone can kind of tweak this and make it work for their property or their location, is this idea of offering a prepaid but reschedulable offer. So this particular property, they're saying, hey, book now, but prepay now for your vacation later this summer. And we're giving a discount. It is prepaid because they want to generate the cash flow now. But they're allowing reschedules within 6 months, to encourage people to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and book that June vacation. If any of this extends, if that's not going to happen, you know what, I'll just move the date and it's not a problem. I'm not going to lose my money. But they are locking in that good rate and still booking their vacation. So that's definitely something people can look at too, is just getting creative with their deposit and cancel policies.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are talking about, vacation marketing right now.
Right.
I mean, July, August, people are going to be so ready to get out before the fall semester starts for school.
Yeah.
Hit them now. That's a good idea. I like that.